Hi, HRN listeners. We're celebrating our 15th anniversary, and we have a really fun campaign and an ask for you. This 15th anniversary tour is aiming to bring you closer to unique food and music experiences in some of the most exciting cities in America. All the while, we're raising funds to support our work empowering the next generation of food system storytellers through our fellowship programs. Here's how it works. Donate to HRN and be entered into a raffle in the city of your choice to win a dinner for two at a noteworthy restaurant and tickets for two to a concert at a prominent local venue. We have incredible partners in New York, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Nashville, Las Vegas, Charleston, Asheville, and Ardmore, Pennsylvania, who have donated a meal for two and two tickets to a concert of the winner's choice. And all donations help fund our fellowship programs, where we're helping to build essential workforce readiness skills and food system storytelling skills. Check out heritageradionetwork.org/15 to donate and enter to win today. That's heritageradionetwork.org/15. Thank you.
Yes, so actually, we do. The concept has been dine on a mat.
Okay.
So the guests would come in, remove their shoes. There is a space where you leave your shoes. No shoes allowed. So leave your shoes, sit on the mat, wash your hands. We have calabash. We try to make it as authentic as possible. So you wash your hands with warm water and lime or lemon, and then food is served. So.
Hey everyone, you're listening to Item 13, a bi-weekly podcast covering everything African food, and I'm your host, Yom Tego. Every other week, we'll delve into the world of African food, chefs, curators, and bloggers. I hope you enjoy it. This week, I speak to Sierra Leonean born and raised Chef Fatmata Binta. Promoting Fulani cuisine to the world, Chef Binta was born and raised in Freetown, Sierra Leone, to first-generation Sierra Leonean Fulanis of Guinean descent. She describes herself as the Fulani Chef, a classic nomad. She's traveled to several continents and has worked with many African chefs. She's also been featured on several TV shows and media outlets across the African continent. She's now based in Accra, Ghana, where she's building a rich culinary experience through her Fulani traditional dining pop-ups. Her vision is to promote Fulani culture through food and promote African cuisine to the world. For this interview, we'll speak to Chef Binta about her journey to becoming a chef, her experiences across the African continent, and more about her Fulani dining concept. I think this is one you'll truly enjoy. Let's dive in. Welcome to the show, Chef Binta. I'm going to call you Chef Binta the whole time.
Thank you.
Because you end the title.
No problem.
How are you today?
I'm good. You?
I'm all right. It's been a long day, but we'll make it through.
Yes.
Let's start by you telling us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Fatmata Binta from Sierra Leone, owner of Fulani Kitchen. Fulani Kitchen is a nomadic pop-up dining service, and I'm a chef, also a gourmet chef. I would like to say I'm a gourmet chef. I'm very passionate about African cuisine, especially Fulani cuisine. I try to promote it as much as possible.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about that.
Yes, so today. I'm currently based in Accra, Ghana, and
tell us about growing up you grew up in Sierra Leone?
I'm a Sierra Leonean.
Ah, okay.
And I grew up between actually Sierra Leone and Guinea.
Okay.
Why I would say between? Because I used to visit during holidays a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I spent most of my holidays with my grandmom, Guinea. So I guess that's where I get more of my inspiration and love for Fulani cuisine.
I see. How would you describe Sierra Leone versus Ghana, for example? Because this is going to go to a wide audience, and a lot of the people that I'm speaking to at the beginning of this are mostly West Africans, so Ghanaian, Nigerian. They're pretty familiar with the culture, the food. But Sierra Leone, Guinea, that's a little bit different, right? So from your experience living in Accra and traveling around Ghana also, how do you think it's similar? How do you think it's different?
It's actually similar in many ways, and I would say in terms of it being different, Ghanaians eat more spicy food. Ghanaian food is the way they marinate it, I think, because in Sierra Leone also eat spicy food, but you use ginger a lot, a lot more. In Sierra Leone, if I'm cooking garlic and ginger, I will use 1 clove.
Ghanaians use the whole clove. And then, how did you end up being a chef? How did you go from living in Sierra Leone, and where did you train? What was the inspiration to become a chef?
I've actually loved cooking since I could remember. I studied international relations to begin with.
Okay.
I studied travel and tourism. I studied marketing.
Okay. Oh,
it's like I was trying to find my true calling. So finally in 2014, I decided to pursue culinary art, pursue being a chef as a career. But I've always loved cooking. I started cooking well at the age of 8.
Well, I like how you qualify that. Well.
And not professionally, but well at the age of 8. I would cook even to bring the pot down. I was way too young to bring it down. I would have to call for help.
Interesting. So where did you go to culinary school, and what was that like?
I went to school in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya.
Oh.
That's where I studied culinary
And
arts.
the Kenyans also don't like spice?
At all.
I don't know if it's just West Africans or just Ghanaians.
No,
Nigerians.
I think
Nigerians
East African thing.
Nigerians don't do as much spice as Ghanaians, I think.
In a way. So
I think. Yeah.
I think Nigerians eat more spicy food.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Ghanaians is about the way they marinate their food. But Nigerian food is spicy.
Okay. I haven't had a lot of Nigerian food, I will say.
It's spicy. Catfish, spicy. Everything is spicy.
Okay. Yeah, they do catfish more, and we do tilapia more in terms of like
more.
fish. And I see.
Exactly.
So you went to Kenya?
Yeah, I went to...
Why Kenya?
I applied actually initially to Greece.
Okay. Greece?
Yeah.
I think when I think culinary school, I think like French cuisine.
I know.
Or Europe, actually, in general.
Yes.
Oh, Greece.
Actually, I applied because I was looking for different schools.
Okay.
And then this one in Greece is like, so I applied, and the same school I went to in Nairobi. So Nairobi was the new branch.
Okay.
So I was advised, since you're from Africa, we have a new campus. And initially I didn't want to go because I was like, Africa.
And it's new also.
Yeah,
right?
new. They were just going to teach me how to cook. The same
things
thing.
You already know, right?
Somebody convinced me that actually Nairobi is way more than you expected. And I loved it.
You loved it. How long were you in Nairobi?
It's 2 years.
Wow.
It's called Boma International Hospitality College.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And then you learned
culinary arts.
Okay.
Yes, and then worked a little because it's a hotel school actually.
Oh, so you did a little bit of hospitality, hotel management.
Yes, so it's an in-house training.
I see. Oh, cool.
Yes.
So then you did that for 2 years, and then what?
And then returned to Ghana. Actually, when it was internship time was when I returned to Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, so because I was also doing private in Kenya.
Yeah, I see. So I know you mentioned to me separately that you were private chef to the first female pilot in Africa to fly the Boeing 787.
Yeah.
Was that in Nairobi?
Nairobi.
Oh, cool. So how did you get that opportunity? And
Facebook.
No.
Social media.
Wait, so she contacted you or?
Yes. She actually.
Oh, wow.
Okay, what happened? I did a post on the Nairobi expat page that, I'm a student at Boma International Hospitality College, but I do part-time, so if you're interested, reach out.
Yeah.
And because she's well-traveled, so she sent me a message that, I noticed you're from West Africa, and I love West Africa.
So she wanted West African food, really?
So it was
I see. So what were you cooking for her, like in terms of West African food?
Cassava leaves, potato leaves, cream, which you call ayoyo.
Okay.
Yeah, things like that. We've been friends since, because whenever I visit
Did
Kenya,
you ever fly in the Boeing 787? Did she take
no.
you in a private?
But she did give me first class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So where did you go with your first class ticket?
I gave somebody else, actually, another chef.
Interesting. Well, now let's talk about Fulani culture. Because when I think of Fulani, I think nomadic living, I think cows, and an association with North Africa also for some reason. But
it seems to be a blend between like Western African and Northern African culture, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it actually is. Because one thing also I noticed, before I used to think that Fulani culture is more similar to Hausa than any other, until I visited the Maasai Mara.
Yeah.
Actually, we share a lot
really?
in common. A lot. The way they do things, the way they live, they eat healthy. So nomadically, Fulani cuisine is Fulani people. Sorry, we are nomadics, and our food, because of that, it has a lot of impact on our food and the way we process our food. Our food mostly sun-dried, ready for on the go. Yeah, because we move a lot.
Yes.
So it's always,
Interesting.
something.
And then in true Fulani fashion yourself, you've traveled widely and worked with many African chefs.
Yes.
Do you think your travels in any way influenced your decision to start Fulani Kitchen?
Yes, a lot. Having traveled a lot, I realized that, one, people don't know much about Fulani cuisine. That was the main reason, actually, that fueled my desire to start promoting Fulani cuisine. And also, I noticed that the culture, I'm scared that the culture is fading away a little because of intermarriages, people, the world is moving way too fast now. So
it's your way of preserving culture through food.
Yeah, through food with my little baby steps.
So let's talk more about Fulani Kitchen. You talked about why you decided to start it. What's the concept, and are you focused on specifically on Sierra Leonean food, Fulani more broadly?
I'm focused more in Fulani, more broadly. So what the main focus now is to travel to all countries that has Fulani.
Okay.
Tribes.
So what are those countries? Mostly Northern Africa, some West African countries, right?
Yes, between that, because we have, we'll start with Ghana, actually.
Okay.
I want to start in
Northern Ghana, right?
Yes, you do have. And then I'll move to Guinea, where my parents are from. And then Mali, Senegal, Gambia, whereas Niger, Chad.
And then the idea is to learn the nuances and the differences between each of these Fulani cultures, right? And you try to infuse that into what you do for Fulani Kitchen.
Exactly.
Will you be doing pop-ups and stuff in all of these countries?
Yes.
Oh, wow,
okay, not in those countries. The plan is each country I'll travel to, when we get back, we'll do a team of that country.
Oh, nice.
So let's say the pop-up, this one will be Abidjan, inspiration from Abidjan, inspiration from Liberia, inspiration from Sierra Leone.
Cool.
So each pop-up would bring...
be around that. You also do the pop-up dining stuff in Accra. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the events you've done and like explain the concept of what you do in Accra? Because I've seen pictures of people sitting on the floor.
Yes, so actually the concept has been dine on a mat.
Okay.
So the guests would come in, remove their shoes. There's a space where you leave your shoes. No shoes allowed. So leave your shoes, sit on the mat, wash your hands. We have calabash. We try to make it as authentic as possible. So you wash your hands with warm water and lime or lemon. And then food is served. So I try to explain each dish while they eat, the concept behind it, the story, how I source my ingredients, the whole inspiration behind it. And then at the end, we have cleansers, which people are always looking forward to. So we serve like bush tea, the local bush tea from the forest in Guinea. So it's mostly that, sit on the map. It's very intimate. People get to interact because the numbers, I try to make it limit.
What's the typical number of people you have?
12 to 15 max.
Maximum.
Yes, maximum 15.
And then do you find that people are comfortable with the idea of sitting down on the floor? There's a mat, so they're sitting on the floor on a mat, and they're eating with their hands. So I've seen pictures, and it looks like it's not just Africans, right? You've had a wide variety of people from, it looks like, all over the world.
Yes.
So what's their reaction and comfort level to one sitting on the floor to eating with their hands?
It's actually interesting. The first event was interesting. We had the opportunity to host 16 students from Yale University. We were doing exchange, an African tour actually. So it was interesting because you have few of them who were like, oh, I don't think I can do this floor thing. So they would get up and pace around. Pace around a little and then sit again and then pace around. But it was interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a good, actually, it really is a good way to show your culture.
It was lay down after.
It's a memorable experience, and it's something that they can go back and then talk to other people about. Like, hey, I went to Ghana and experienced this part of Fulani. Okay, I think this is a good time to take a short break. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll dive more into the pop-up dining concept and your life as a chef.
Okay.
And then we'll probably also talk a little bit about that in the context of the whole African food boom and how Fulani Kitchen sort of fits into that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk about pop-up dining. We're going to talk about collaborations, life as a chef on your own. So let's first talk about pop-up dining. It seems to be like a big thing now. Everybody's doing pop-up restaurants. In every city I've been to, it's like the new latest thing in like restaurant world. People are choosing to do pop-ups versus having a traditional restaurant. Like, how and why did you choose to do the pop-up route versus working either in a restaurant or your own restaurant? I know you've worked in kitchens before, right?
Yes.
So maybe let's talk about that first, and then why you chose to do the pop-up route.
Okay, so I've actually worked in 3 establishments before in Kenya, where I was training in-house in Boma Hotel.
Yes.
And then also in Ghana at La Villa Boutique Hotel. And then I moved to Villa Monticello. Okay. So working in a kitchen actually is very interesting. That's where the action is.
Yeah, we see it on all the food shows.
That's where you really feel like you're a chef. And you get to also learn a lot. It's like, especially for me, my experience has been interesting at Villa Monticello. I learned a lot because I had the opportunity to work under Chef Ruby. Okay. She's the executive chef there, and she's amazing. Okay. She's an amazing chef. So, and she tries also to challenge you. Okay. Because every 3 months she'll change her menu. Yeah. So you have to step up.
Well, then I need to go check it out because I don't think I've ever been to. I'm thinking La Villa Boutique, but you're talking about Villa Monticello, right? I don't think I've been, so I should check it out.
You have to. You have to. Like, she's a very good chef. She's a very good chef, so she really pushed me. Okay. She really pushed me.
And then, so why did you decide not to? How long were you there?
I was there for 7 months.
Okay. Okay. So then, what made you decide to leave? Was that when you left and started Fulani Kitchen?
Yes.
And then, so what was the inspiration or the push to first go out on your own and then decide specifically to do pop-ups?
Okay, for me the inspiration was when I was at Villa Monticello, having also traveled in between. Yeah. For me, when you're working in a hotel, it's way more hectic and demanding. Okay. Because imagine working for like 9 hours a day. And then also trying to brand something on the side. Okay. It doesn't work.
Oh, because you're trying to do both at the time?
At the same time. Okay. I was always tired. I get 2 days off. And after working 5 days, 9 hours, when you get 2 days off, you're sleeping. Yeah. So I had to make this hard decision to quit, which means like I won't get to train under her again and improve my skills and then start my own thing. Okay. So for me now, I have this thing where I'll have to go back for more training every year.
Think so, okay.
Yes, that's my plan.
So when you say that, do you mean you go back to Villa Monticello specifically?
No, I'll travel out. Okay. Go to culinary schools, maybe in France, in Italy, just to polish on certain areas.
Okay. So then you do training to improve your skill sets and all of that stuff, and then hopefully apply those techniques to
Fulani Kitchen.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about Fulani food. You said, the culture is disappearing. People don't know much about it. For someone, even I actually, I saw a picture today on your Instagram account, and I was like, oh my God, this looks so good. But I would never know that it's Fulani food. So let's go back to the basics. What are the for someone who's not familiar with Fulani food, what are your staple foods? I mean, you talked about it being tied to the nomadic culture, right? So it's a lot to the sun-dried. What are the basic ingredients? So if we think about Ghanaian food, for example, and I was explaining to somebody, I'll say, it's carb-heavy, tomato-based soups and stews, that sort of thing. And for Fulani food, what's that like?
It's more corn.
Okay.
More corn. We eat corn a lot. Sun-dried also.
Okay. So corn on the cob, sun-dried?
Sun-dried. Some on the cob. We actually have the one on the cob. Like when we were preserving. On the cob, and they'll hang it with the
I've
leaf.
seen those pictures. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we try to pound and then sieve. Use it for flour-based dishes.
Okay.
Also milk with cow milk.
Of course.
Cow milk a lot. And also we eat offals. For people who don't understand what offals are. Mainly the intestine, those parts here. So we eat that a lot. So mostly is corn, dried cassava. Everything is dried actually. So corn, oko, even our oko is dried.
So a lot of the food. So you won't even do. So when it's dried corn, it's ground corn. You're not adding. You're adding little or no water.
You add water and then chili, hot chili, pepper, onions, tomatoes. We don't add extra additives.
Ghanaians throwing everything. You should see a bowl of fufu and you're like all the food in the world is in that bowl. Okay, interesting. I see. So what's the one dish that if you wanted to introduce people to Fulani food, what's the one dish they should try, and then can you describe it for us without making us hungry listening to you describe it?
Actually, there is a lot. That's the thing. Okay, the one thing I would like to introduce to anyone is called lacheri ekosan.
Lacheri?
Ekosan.
Ekosan. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a dessert thing.
Okay.
So it's corn, steamed corn. Okay. Sun-dried first and then powdered, sieve, and then steamed. And then it goes with the milk. The cow's milk. Yeah, the cow's milk, but not the fresh milk. It's fermented a bit.
Okay, again, because you're not in one place, you're moving.
And they add sugar to it.
Okay.
It's actually very good.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's one thing I like.
You need to come with one of your
you have to.
dining experiences and try that. That sounds really interesting. And then, so after moving out on your own, what are some of the challenges you faced? And then if there are any specific stories you want to share, especially around either collaborating or attracting clients or customers to your dining experiences, or even the idea of Fulani food and introducing it to people who don't know anything about it. Like, what are some of the challenges you've experienced?
Actually, my challenge has been getting a brand recognition.
Okay.
In Ghana.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's slow. It's picking up actually because people know about Fulani Kitchen and who is behind it, but they don't know what is Fulani Cuisine.
Exactly. I feel like I've seen your name. I know.
Yes.
I've seen it everywhere, but like I don't know what Fulani food is. So. And
sometimes something I've noticed also. It's not even just Ghana. Like it's an African thing. Yeah. We are not adventurous when it comes to food. We are not.
Yeah, even within the continent, right? So I lived in South Africa for a couple of years. Okay. And there were so many people that I met that had never tried West African food. Wow. I would be looking for plantains, and some people had never heard of plantains, and I'm like, oh my god, how can you live in a world without plantains? But yeah, you're right. I don't know why that is. If it's just we're limited in terms of our ability to travel around and see what our neighbors, etc., are experiencing, or we're just comfortable in what we know. And so, like, we're not going to try something. Even when we're talking earlier about Nigerian food being spicy, like I said, I barely eat Nigerian food, and I have so many Nigerian friends. I've been to Lagos a few times, but when I go to Lagos, I try things that I'm familiar with, like jollof, because although for the record, I'm not a big fan of Nigerian jollof, but I take it because I'm like, if I'm here, I might as well. So. But I don't think I've gone out of my way to try stuff. Like the last time I was in Lagos, maybe about a month ago, I wanted to try ofada rice, and one of my Ghanaian friends was like, "Nah, don't do it. It's just a little bit." I should have. Hey, I really wanted to try something different. I ended up going to a place called Terra Culture. Okay. And end up having beans and plantain,
Plantain.
like red,
Something
essentially.
you know.
Yeah, something I know. So maybe, there's something to be said about
True, like,
staying in your comfort zone.
we are not adventurous, so it's a challenge. Me trying to push Fulani cuisine,
Right.
they are like, what?
But I think I would try that. For me, the novelty. I think you have there's a possibility, potential here to do something big with it. I think.
Thank you.
I really think so. So I'll be looking out for your next pop-up dining experience or anything like that.
Thank you.
And then in terms of collaborations, who do you do a lot of collaborations, and who do you tend to work with when you do?
Actually, I have, but there is a challenge to it. Because for now, moving forward, I think I'll try to collaborate more with someone like who is on the same page.
Okay.
Because you get there are challenges when it comes to
Yeah.
collaborating. You want to do this,
You have a
that
vision
person
for
wants to do
Yeah.
the timing. That person is busy,
Yeah.
or you're available. When you're available, that
That's
like
busy and
there's
all of
always
yeah.
that clash. So making it happen is actually hectic.
Yeah.
Collaborations are very good, but they're hectic.
Okay. And then what types of things do you look for in a person? So in case someone is listening and they like the idea and they want to work with you or collaborate with you, what type of things do you look for in a collaboration? So what are in a partner, what are you looking for?
For me, we have to be on the same page.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to be on the same page. I want to push something very authentic.
Okay.
I try to be authentic and simple as possible. And I look for the same thing
Okay.
in someone. Timing, you have to be disciplined. Time management.
Yeah.
Timing is very important to me. And for me, communication.
Right.
Yeah, I look for those things.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So then what's next for Fulani Kitchen?
Fulani Kitchen, we want to go on the road. It's nomadic.
Oh,
So-
okay. You're playing into the idea of, I see. Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
I want
Okay.
to be nomadic as
Okay.
possible. So the plan is going forward is to post in different cities. Yes.
In Ghana or across West Africa?
We'll start in Africa and then globally.
Oh,
That's the
nice.
aim.
We should talk. Because, in SF13, we do a lot of events wherever my day job takes me.
Okay.
And so, we just finished something in London, and hopefully, when I move to New York this summer, we can bring Fulani to the
Definitely.
people of the Americas.
Americans.
if you will. Okay, so now we're going to go into the rapid fire segment of the interview. But before we do that, can you let us know where people can find you online, social media, etc.?
Okay, so we are on Facebook, Fulani Kitchen.
Okay.
And also on Instagram, Fulani_Kitchen.
Okay.
And also my personal page is Chef_Binta.
Okay.
Or our website, www.fulanikitchen.com.
Okay. All right. So that sounds great, and we'll include that in the show notes so that people can easily click through and get to those sites.
Okay.
All right. Now, time for the rapid fire questions. I told you they were easy, so I mean, from what I've done so far, it seems like people are pretty good with them. So, all right, let's go. The first one: Ghana jollof or Niger jollof? You should have expected that.
Ghana jollof.
Okay, it's because you're in Ghana today.
I'm
Why
in Ghana.
Ghana jollof? Why is Ghana jollof better?
I think it is. Nigerian jollof is hard for me. I think the rice is too.
Yeah, it's about the rice. I keep telling people it's about the rice. And
Yes, it doesn't blend well with the sauce.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Sorry.
Okay. Buffet or a la carte?
A la carte.
Okay. Swallow or rice?
Rice.
Red wine or white wine?
Red wine.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Dine in or take out?
Dining.
Morning person or night person?
Night. I hardly sleep.
Oh, I'm such a morning person. I don't understand night people. Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram. It's hard. I love both.
I would say Instagram for me too. I spend a lot of time on Instagram. What's your biggest pet peeve?
I actually don't have any.
Oh, I've heard somebody say that too. How can you not have a pet peeve?
Ooh.
Well, good for you. And the last one is, what's your favorite African restaurant? Anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to be Ghana. And it doesn't have to be Ghanaian food. A favorite African restaurant.
Apart from Fulani Kitchen?
Apart from Fulani Kitchen, clearly.
Right now, wow. I would say Gold Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they do local Ghanaian. Do they do Nigerian also?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I know I've had jollof there. It's really good.
You had Ghanaian
Jollof, yeah. Ghanaian jollof.
And it was really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
I don't eat out much.
Okay.
But
well, when you do,
I think they've never failed me.
Okay.
They're consistent, yeah.
Which is hard to find. That's fine. Right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure chatting with you. I'm looking forward to eating Fulani food sometime.
Soon. We can't wait to host you.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Thanks, guys. This is the end of the show, and we will speak to you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Item 13, an Essence 13 production. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes. To keep up to date on news and events from Essence 13, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Essence and the number 13. Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Leonean here with some big news from the National Young Farmers Coalition. We're partnering with Heritage Radio Network on a special season of The Farm Report. It's all about what's happening with the Farm Bill and how it impacts farmers and eaters.
I am growing diversified vegetables on land that's been in our family for 150 years.
And so with the pandemic, gentrification, property values going up, we had to sell the land and we lost it.
Join us as we uncover the untold stories behind this massive piece of legislation that shapes how we grow our food, what we eat, and so much more.
The problems we have had, those are things that come from earlier Farm Bill and USDA policy, right? Like Earl Butts, get big or get out.
You know, it's my responsibility to know not only what I'm eating, but then like how that all came to be. And realize like, wow, like this piece of legislation, all this money, like it's technically something that I support as a taxpayer.
While Congress debates the next Farm Bill, this is not just an invitation to listen. It's a call to action. Be part of the conversation. Subscribe to the Farm Report on Heritage Radio Network, wherever you listen to podcasts.